Good afternoon, students. Today we discussed about 11th accountancy afternoon video. So in this afternoon video, we discuss about a topic of petty cash book. So it is one of the subsidiary books types. In the case of cash book, in the previous classes we discussed about the single column, double column and the 3-column cash book. In this video we discuss about the petty cash book. So petty cash book is one of the cash book and one of the type of subsidiary book. So petty cash book means that is in a business concern there are so many expenses, small expenses, that is taxi fare, bus fare, postage and stationery, refreshment and other items. So these are the small payments and it is in nature in the business concern. If all these small expenses are recorded in the main cash book, means it will be loaded a lot of entries. Hence all petty payments, that is small payments of a business concern, may be recorded in a separate book which is called petty cash book, and the person who maintain this book is called a petty cashier. So in a business concern, all small expenses should be maintained in a separate set of books. That book is called as petty cash book, and the person who maintain that book is called a petty cashier. So in the case of a petty cash book, the main cashier workload is minimized. The main cashier workload is minimized, and he will concentrate only on the major expenses. So all the small expenses will be maintained by the petty cashier. So all the small payments must be supported by the voucher, that is a documentary entry evidence. Voucher must be numbered and filed in order. So petty cashier makes only cash payment, must not be allowed to receive any cash except for reimbursement. And this petty cashier has made all the payments only within a specified limit, and payment involving large amount must be done only by the main cashier. So at the end of the relevant period, petty cash book is balanced, and balance of petty cash book is similar to the balancing of a single column cash book. So in this petty cash book, and the petty cashier will receive some amount from the main cashier. Based upon that amount, he will spend all the small petty expenses. And in this petty cash book, impress system of petty cash book is to be followed. That is, under this system, a fixed amount necessary or sufficient to meet petty payments on the basis of the past experience is paid to the petty cashier on the first day of the period, on the basis of the past experience, be a week or fortnight or month. So the amount given to the petty cashier is the advance as impressed money. The word impressed means payment in advance. So mainly the petty cashier will receive money from the main cashier in advance. That advance money received by him is called as impressed money, and the petty cash payment from this amount and record them in petty cash book. So at the end of the period, the petty cashier submit the petty cash book to the main cashier, and he will analyze, scrutinize the petty cash book, and he will return reimbursement of the amount spent by the petty cashier, and balance amount and the amount balance of received by the petty cashier will make an impressed amount. So this system will be followed in all the business concern to maintain the petty cash book. Advantage of petty cash book: there can be better control over petty payment. By maintaining the petty cash book, it will be very easy for the business concern to control all the petty expenses. There is saving of time of the main cashier. While introducing the petty cash book, the time of main cashier will reduce because of all small payments will be recorded in separate book. So cash book is not loaded with many petty payments. So workload of the main cash book will be minimized by way of introducing petty cash book. Posting of entries from the main cash book and petty cash book is comparatively easy. Types of petty cash book. There are two types of petty cash book, that is simple petty cash book and analytical petty cash book. Simple petty cash book means it resembles like the single column cash book, but the columns are differ. On the debit side, only the advance received from the head cashier is recorded. On the credit side, all payments are recorded in only one column. This is known as simple petty cash book. That is, whatever the amount received by the petty cashier from the main cashier, that will be recorded in the debit side, and all the payments, petty payments, small payments, that should be recorded in the credit side of the petty cash book. Then balance the petty cash book. It is called as simple petty cash book. In the case of analytical petty cash book, a separate column is provided for different head of payments and one column for total payment. So when the petty expenses are recorded in the total payment column, same amount is also recorded in the appropriate expense column, and this is known as analytical petty cash book. So in this case of analytical petty cash book, separate head of various expenses are to be maintained in separate column. So first of all, the amount to spend will be recorded in the total payment column, and the same amount will be recorded in the respective column in the case of analytical petty cash book. So various expense column will be maintained in this type of a petty cash book. That's why it is called as analytical petty cash book. So in this chapter, we discuss only this method of analytical petty cash book. So sums are to be worked out by using this method, analytical petty cash book types. It is a specimen of analytical petty cash book, format of analytical petty cash book. So in the debit side, only receipt column should be maintained, and then cash book folio number CBFN will be maintained. Date is the common column for both debit side and credit side, and particular column will be the common column for both debit side and credit side. Voucher number VN should be maintained. Total payments. From the voucher number, all the columns are in the credit side. So debit side, there is only two columns, that is receipt column and cash book folio number column. Date and particular are the common columns. From the voucher number column, all the other columns should be shown in the credit side. So credit side, we should maintain number of columns based upon the payments which are given in the problem. So voucher number, total payment, and then postage and telegram, printing and stationery, carriage, traveling expenses and allowances and conveyances, and then refreshment, sundry column, and then personal account column. Last one is LF column. These are the necessary columns should be maintained in the analytical petty cash book. In the receipt column, we should record only the cash received from the main cashier should be recorded. No other items should be recorded in the receipt column. Cash book folio number. In this column, the page number of the cash book in which the entry is made is recorded. Date column, date of the transaction should be recorded. In the particular column, when cash received from the main cashier, we should record to cash account, and all the petty expenses are to be recorded by and concerned expenses. Voucher number. In this column, we should record the documentary evidence receipt number, that is voucher number. Documentary evidence of the transaction number should be recorded. So all the payments must have voucher, which must be arranged in the chronological order of payment, and serially numbered. In the total payment column, the amount spent for every expenses that should be recorded in the total payment column. So at the end of the week or month, expenses are total. The total expense of the week or month is compared with the receipt, and the balance will be analyzed. In the postage column, we should record all the expenses related to the postage, that is purchase of postcard, envelope, inland letters, postage stamps, registered letter, telegram, everything. In the stationery column, all the expenses related to the printing and stationery should be recorded. Purchase of paper, ink, pencil, eraser, printing of certain items, all should be recorded in this column. And in the carriage column, in this column we should record all the wages, transport charges and other expenses of the respective should be recorded. Travel and conveyance. In this column we should record the auto rickshaw charges, taxi, bus charges, train charges are to be recorded. Refreshment. In this column, amount spent for tea, coffee, snacks, etc. should be recorded. In the sundry column, there may be certain expenses which are infrequent for which specific column provided. So that should be recorded in the sundry column. Personal account column, small amount paid to the any poor people or individual person, that should be recorded in this column. Ledger folio, the page number of the ledger should be recorded in the ledger folio column. So with that we conclude this video session. Students, you can go through all the points which are taught in this video, prepare it, write it in your accounts theory assignment notebook, and send a task complete message in the group. Thank you.